I have a feeling that Pluto in Aquarius is going to be the era of spiritual permission. I'm making my coffee right now, and I was thinking about all of this different stuff. Spirits had on my mind like these new spiritual purposes and destiny and all of these different things that are related to the world that I live in now and what is changing and the kind of chaotic things that have been happening, Aquarius related stuff, right? And kind of also letting me know, like, to prepare, this is what you need to expect and what you need to do. And one of the things that Spirit, I always say Spirit prepares us. Okay, that's one of my things I will always like trust in. Spirit recently has been asking me to ask permission. And I mean, they've been up my butt about it, okay? Every single time that I think about asking permission, Spirit's like, do it. It could be going to brush my teeth. Okay, like simple weird stuff that we wouldn't normally think about being a spiritual thing that we're doing, but everything we do is in the spirit technically, right? So Spirit, even with little stuff like that, just like it's been like multiple times a day, like a lot. And so I've been thinking about it and I'm like, why is Spirit, I know that this is preparation for something. What is it? And so Spirit today is telling me about all these different things coming up in the future. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense of why, this lesson is coming up. Okay, interesting. And one of the things about Pluto and Aquarius, taking it back to this new era of stuff that's like my personal examples, right? But back to the era of things going on now. When it comes to Pluto and Aquarius, Pluto has to do with bindings and contracts, and Aquarius is the primordial spirits. And one of the things, this is a crazy connection. Whoa, one of the things, actually, do I have permission to talk about that? I realized today when I was putting offerings at the altar, because I'm making food for people I love, and like it's the holiday, so like it felt festive, I'm making offerings, it is. And one of the things I realized is that the primordial spirits, because I give offerings to some primordial spirits on occasion, 'tis a part of my world and my practice, right? And I had this realization, I was like, oh my God, the primordial spirits are to the gods what the gods are to us. That's insane. That's a crazy thought. What? We're talking about like a double realm over. It's weird, okay? Strange, and this might not apply to every primordial spirit, your relationship with every primordial. That is just a perspective that I was learning about today, okay? Right. So our contracts with the primordial spirits, going back to Pluto and Aquarius again, the spiritual era of permission, like for so long, we have just had to take power back without asking permission because that's what it's been like for hundreds and thousands of years. But with the era that we're in right now, things are different. The world is different. It's a different time. And the structures now are so rigid. Do I want to talk about this in a really worldly way? Hold on. Let me just say what I came to say. The spiritual permission, huge thing, especially when working with the primordial spirits, because the primordial spirits, they move the minds and the actions and the trends of the masses. The stuff that is way bigger than you and me. Okay, the stuff that is like huge. We couldn't predict it, didn't know it was coming, but the world is going to react because that's how the primordial spirits need it to be. Also, side note, okay, I just poured my coffee because it's done now. I ground up lavender and I put it in my coffee ground. It smells so good. I'm sure it's gonna taste really good too, but anyways, back to the point, all right? Again, this is a very Aquarius video. How many times have I been interrupted by like random things going on? So the primordial spirits, they move the masses, they move humanity, and like they blind us to things that we are not supposed to see because the trends are supposed to move in a certain way. The world moves because the primordial spirits say so. Do we have free will? Yeah, we can do what we want in the power and in the authority that we have been given in the spirit. But we have to remember that even in our human authority and even in the institutions built by humans that have authority in them, the spirit's authority and the primordial being's authority way beyond us. So to ask permission first is gonna get you out of trouble before it even starts. It's also gonna make sure that the ritual work that you are doing and or magic you are practicing, because magic, Pluto, the will, okay, Pluto is a representation of the will in the astrological transits and charts. So you using your will to practice magic in this era by checking in with the spirits and the beings who can move the masses of society first, that's incredibly large. By checking in with them first, now you've also checked in to see if it's within their authority to move people on your behalf. Think about if you didn't do that. Think about if you didn't ask permission. I don't even want to know about the consequences. I don't know if you saw that flash in the back. Oops. Don't know where that came from, but apparently here we are. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to know. I don't want it. Keep me out of it. Maybe it was just my hand waving. Whatever. Okay. Anyways. asking permission, okay? Make sure that you keep your wits about you. But I also am realizing how incredibly beautiful it can be, because not every person has different relationships with the spirits, and we have to remember that not every person on the earth is like super religious or spiritually disciplined, right? So if you're involving yourself, because the examples that Spirit was bringing to me today that I was talking about towards the beginning of the video, priestesses, we help normal, regular, everyday people. Hello. People who are not necessarily interested in magic, or people who like, my gifts go beyond just the people who are in the spirit working in the disciplines. Granted, do I focus on that a lot of the times because I have the tools to help people there? For sure. But my gifts go beyond that by a lot. So one of the things Spirit was telling me today was like, look at all these regular people that are in your world who now you're around and might need your help or want to go do things with you. What happens if you want to make offering before you go do something with them, or pray, to get work done, something when you're with them? There's a difference between having permission from the people around you to do that and having permission within the spirit to do that. You might have one and not the other. You might have a couple people who are there say, yeah, that's totally fine, and spirit be okay with it. And then spirit, asking for certain things, because there are people who are there who are not necessarily always inclined to spiritual activities. Like people who work in the spiritual disciplines, if we're here, okay, and being all the way in the spirit and not being embodied is over here, and then people who may not work in the spirit but live in the world are over here, and you're in the middle, right, holding the gates and holding the doors, then you have to have also permission in yourself, honor yourself in this process, for sure. Permission in yourself, permission from this side, and permission from the era of spiritual permissions. I just know that that's what it is for me. I can feel at least a part of it. There's way more to it than that. Pluto and Aquarius is a huge thing. We got years ahead of us with this, right? And also, this has just been heavy on me recently. And so I wanted to talk about it because also I sit with a lot of people a lot of the times. Okay, usually when I'm working in, other people are working in too. So I wanted to bring it to you. The era of permissions. At least while Neptune is in Aries and Uranus is in Gemini, like those changes. But we'll see more about the timings of things later. And Aquarius is unpredictable, so things could change at any moment and at any time. And honestly, that's okay with me. Let the spirits have the power to do that. You know what I mean? Anyways, though, gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up the brew that you do. I'm going to go finish my coffee. And I'm going to make these cookies, okay? I'm going to make these cookies! And I'm going to keep my cookie to myself, and I'm going to stay in my work. You know what I mean? Okay. Sometimes I have jokes, even when it's serious. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys soon. Enjoy the holidays, however you are celebrating, and whatever it is that you are celebrating. Beautiful. But yeah, I'll talk to you soon. Also true. Also, as I was watching this back, one of the things I realized is that the spirits are probably, maybe not all of them, but some of them, spirits are probably tired of moving. What a let the credits roll. There's extra at the end moment. I've never done this one in my videos, but whatever. Here we are. The spirits are probably tired of moving without us asking permission first. They're also probably tired of moving other people on our behalf and moving. They're probably just tired. Look at what we're living through right now. It just feels like if we don't ask permission to go do the things that we really want to do with magic and spirit, not only are we forcing the spirits to move, whether that's a correction towards us or they help us, because it could be either one, it could be both. So there's that. Also, though, then they've got to do things without other people's permission. The spirits that you asked for help and that you made offering to without asking permission first, now they are also going to have to, not only do they have to move without you having asked permission, now they have to move other people without their permission, those other people's permission. It's just one big mess. I'd be tired too. Anyways, I was just thinking about that watching this back. I really am going to let you guys. I'm not the one to let you do what you want. I was going to say I'm going to let you leave, but I don't have that power. Go when you want to. I'm also going to finish my coffee. I'm going to make these cookies. It is. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Shout out to you.